No, it's me that's talking about it.
Brilliant.
Welcome to
My Guy Reviews, the podcast. Cool, guys. Welcome to My Guy Reviews, the podcast. It's been a while. We're back. I'd like to welcome My Guy. I'd like to welcome My Guy Monkey. You're back.
Hi, My Guy Brig. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. We've three months of this coronavirus has prevented us from doing a lot of these podcasts and doing stuff, but we've still been doing stuff, but just not been putting out content. So we've gone super quiet.
Yes.
So we apologise to that one listener that we
have. We've gone ghost for a while, so sorry for that. Yes. Sorry to the listener. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you for listening and subscribing and all that cool jazz. And just tell a friend so we can double our listenership. Yeah. Right? Just literally one person. Just get them to subscribe.
And thank you to our listener for probably talking on Twitter and all that other stuff and Instagram and keeping our channel alive while we've been away.
Yeah, it's prompting us to come back. Finally, we did it. We're back. All that love that we've seen. So yes. So this week you came up with the topic idea.
Did I really?
You did. You
Explain to me how I came up with it.
So I had an idea.
Oh, you're going to change it to the other one, okay?
Yes.
Using my idea.
Yes, I did say we'll use your idea because it's a good idea.
Okay.
And so I have got a list, but I thought if you want to do the introduction and explain your idea a little, and let's start with that.
Okay, so I think we're going to be doing shorter episodes for a little while until things are cleared up. So I take it we're just going to stick to the topic at the moment. And our topic today, I think, if I'm correct, is I've just been wondering lately, as cinemas are about to open up their doors again in the UK after 3 months, what movies are coming out and what we're looking forward to? Because obviously some of the movies that we're planning on coming out haven't come out, and so they've been delayed, or some of them have gone to VOD.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
So that was my idea. You might have more to talk about videos on demand than me, though, because I don't use it so much. So
yes. So I thought what we'll do is we'll do exactly what you said. We'll go through the current slate, how excited, preview those films, talk about some of the movies that have already dropped to VOD, which we're going to get a theatrical release. How excited were we about them or not? And in particular, we'll talk about one film which I know is going to skip cinema, go straight to VOD, which almost made you rip up your cinema card. So
yeah, I almost went for a refund when I had this.
You couldn't believe it, yes. And then I've got one more thing that we'll just close up on, and that is movies with the longest production date. Okay. So as obviously things have been delayed, and I thought it'd be quite touching to kind of end with movies. Not movies that got stuck in development help, or movies that are like a passion project for someone who sat on it for about 20 years. Actually, when it started production to when it got completed, so the longest in production. So omitted from that list will still be Avatar 2, because it hasn't been released yet. It'll come out next year, and then it could join this list because that's been in development production for about 12 years. So that gives you an idea of kind of like what we'll talk about in a bit. So so should we start with the upcoming slate of movies?
Okay. Have you got a list? Because I've forgotten them already. I can only remember one that I'm really want to see,
and that's going straight to VOD. So there's a whole bunch of kind of like limited releases. So I won't talk so much about them because honestly, looking at a lot of these limited release films, and some that have been like Inception is getting re-released. Those are not the ones that I'm interested in. I'm talking about the big kind of movies,
the new ones
that were supposed to come out. So we'll start with I think in July there's only one movie that I can see that I know anything about, and that's called The Room. Right. So not The Room with Brie Larson where she won an Academy Award. This is a new one. It's a horror film. I love horror films, so nice. we start with that, and it's due for release in July 21st. So my first thing to you is, it's going to streaming. Let's ignore that.
It's not going to the cinema.
It's not even going there. Okay, already. Okay, so we'll talk about another film then. So the first film that I have to go nationwide so far, that is is going to be on the 31st of July. So first question to you, do you think that's going to happen? Based on, in the UK, we've already started local lockdowns. There's talk about Bradford, there's other cities that are going to be coming up. And, years from now, it'll become a question, which was the first city to be re-locked down in England? It's a historical moment. And everyone who's part of that city should be super proud of themselves, because you're part of history now. So the 31st of July, do you think it's going to happen? A nationwide release of the film.
Nationwide? Oh, you mean because certain unnamed towns might not be cities might not be
yes,
even not be open.
So this list I've got is the dates in America, not the UK dates. So it might even affect, I know states like Florida have reopened quite quickly. Coronavirus is quite high down there right now, so they could be, they could go back into local lockdown as well. So yes. So do you think 31st of July?
I'd say no, because I know that Cineworld already is delaying its opening until the end of the month.
Yeah.
So you've really got that risk of it not coming, of these things not coming out. So, and definitely there's places like Bradford and nearby Midland areas that aren't going to be welcoming customers.
They might come out of it so say they started lockdown in a couple of cities today, and in the next few days, 2 weeks from now, they could be opening, and then another city elsewhere could be.
Okay, cast your mind back then to our last episode, which is where we had what we would be doing for 2 weeks, or was it even
That's
1
right.
week?
Yes,
and
2 weeks.
I think I was already planning for a few months, and you so
I was too optimistic. Yes, I know.
I think you're still too optimistic. I don't think it'll be 2 weeks. I think it'll be longer. You'll be stuck indoors.
So 31st of July, you're thinking is not going to happen. But okay, if it does happen, the first film that's coming out on the 31st of July is a film called Unhinged. Okay. Stars Russell Crowe, Gabriel Bateman. Russell Crowe's the main person in it. It's a film. It's a thriller. It's about a divorced single mother who begins to be stalked and tormented by an unstable stranger following a road rage confrontation at a red light.
Invisible Man.
That's such a good film, but
he's
no,
not invisible.
No, he's not. So,
Excellent.
How excited are you about this new film?
Never heard of it.
No, nor have I. It's got Russell Crowe.
Oh, great! I'm out.
So the first nationwide release, you're out. Okay, let's skip on to the next one.
What about
so I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer or anything. I just read the synopsis then. I had no idea this film was coming out, so
cool.
It may be quite good. I might not watch a trailer and I'll go straight into it. If this was the first film that my cinema showed, I would go straight into it, I think.
Yeah. But Russell Crowe, though.
I know, but it's the first film. It's one of those things, like, to be able to go back into the cinema to experience something again. I think the first few films could be terrible, but there's a chance I would watch them. I think the films will come out. They won't be as big opening weekends, but they'll have more legs. If the film's good, people will tell people, go watch this film. So obviously we've got drive-in cinemas open right now, so there's a possibility of watching it. But there's something about sitting on a chair, air conditioning on, eating Staley popcorn, having that sticky floor feeling, when you sat down, every time you lift off your foot, there's sticky, knowing that there's gum underneath my chair. That's just imagine that.
Someone coughing over your shoulder from behind.
Yes, and there's a group in the corner just chatting away, and you're missing all the good dialogue. Oh, yes. But I think we have a different thing. I tend to go to the late showings when there's no children allowed, but then there's more drunks and they disrupt the film. And you watch it during the day when those people aren't drunk enough, but they bring their children to kick your seats. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an experience that can't be replaced, right?
It can't. Okay, so we say skip to that one. The next film that's got a nationwide release is for August the 7th, and it's called The Empty Man. So this is a supernatural horror based on a graphic novel. Okay. And the synopsis reads, on the trail of a missing girl, an ex-police officer who witnessed the violent death of his wife and son comes across a secret group attempting to summon a terrifying supernatural entity. No one famous.
Ooh, nice.
Would you be interested in this?
Yeah, sounds good. So,
it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does sound quite good. I would be down for this, and this is in August. Okay, so we've got our first We Would Watch. Now, in August, there's another movie coming out on August the 7th, which is now not getting the cinematic release, but we'll come back to that when we talk VOD, because that's going straight to streaming.
Okay.
August the 12th is the big one. It's obviously going straight to nationwide cinema. It is, of course, Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Now, do you know anything about this movie, and how excited or unexcited are you for this one?
All I really know about this movie is that there was a trailer for it in before the last Star Wars movie.
Yes.
And it was quite terrifying for a universal audience. I'm not interested in it. It's not my sort of movie, really.
Well, it's a Christopher Nolan film.
It's all about terrorism and stuff, isn't it? And stuff.
Yes, right. I'm not going to give away the thing, but there has been another trailer, and yes, there is an element of it. But I don't want to. It's one of those films that should have the little level of mystery.
Yeah.
And you should just go into it not knowing what it is.
I mean, I think I know one other thing about it, so I won't say it though then.
But the main actor, John David Washington, was in Black Klansman thing, which was the Spike Lee film about the KKK clan, about a black guy who infiltrates the KKK. It's an incredible movie, and he's in this, and he's the lead. And when I saw the trailer and I saw him, I was like, I'm in. Plus, you got Christopher Nolan. I don't need to know anything else about the film. I'm sold. So I am super excited for this. This, I would say, keep delaying until all cinemas are, at least at 80%, 70% capacity. They can open, that is, then release the film. And this could be one of the biggest films of the year.
Okay, so you don't want to see empty seats for...
I do want to see empty seats, but I don't want to see empty cinemas. I got to have my 2 meter space now. I can't go to cinema sitting next to it.
Forever. It's never going to change now. Everyone needs like 2 meters space.
So that's for August the 12th currently. So how excited or non-excited are you for this? From our rating, PS4 or Xbox, where do you put this?
Is PS4 good?
Yes, obviously we have PS4s. We don't have Xbox. So
I mean, I don't like to phase one or the other, but I am PlayStation, Sony fanboy.
Fanboy, yeah.
But whichever console you have, you enjoy the most.
Obviously. Exactly.
But this one would be Xbox, I guess.
Oh, you're not interested? Okay, no, that's your opinion. We're allowed to have our own separate opinions. We are two different people, after all.
Even if it's wrong, you're allowed your own opinion.
Yes, exactly. Even if it's wrong, and you're wrong. Okay, the next film is literally coming out a couple of days later, and this is Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yes, at last, the film.
Bill and Ted 3. Okay, so this straight away you showed your cards, PlayStation 4, right? How do you know? Have you seen the trailer? Are you excited about? You haven't. Good.
I'm the typical viewer that they're trying to get these days, get the money out of. If I see a sequel or a remake, I know what it is already, so I want to see it.
Brilliant. I watched the trailer for this, and I think because they tell you the storyline in the trailer, it kind of, I feel like it's going to ruin a little bit. And there's a bit right at the end, a bit like Zombieland 2. Me and you talked about this and how they have the second group that looked exactly like the first group, and they had these set of rules, and they show that in the trailer. So when they come up to that bit in the film, you're like, oh, I've already seen this. So don't watch the trailer. Do not watch the trailer. It looks quite funny though. It looks good. I love Bill and Ted 1 and 2, so yeah, I'm really excited for this one as well.
I don't know how excited I am in the sense of how good it's going to be, but I do enjoy the other two, and I'd like to see how it goes. It'll either be a middling or it'll be really good. I don't think it'll be terrible.
Brilliant, but that's a PlayStation 4.
That's a Nintendo Wii. No,
you've only got two choices.
It's a Switch. It's in the middle.
Isn't that a Switch?
Come on, it's Zelda the Breath of the Wild on the Switch. It's got some good things going for it.
It's a great game, yeah. Okay, That's fine. And you create your own. You just keep changing it as you want. Okay, the next film out the same day is The Secret Garden. It's another adaptation of the British book, The Secret Garden, starring a bunch of kids and Colin Firth and Julia Walters. Okay. How excited are you to see children roaming around a secret garden again?
I didn't know this was coming, so I'm excited.
So, Xbox.
I mean, it's a remake, so they might have me. Just to compare.
Yeah.
We'll call it Xbox.
Xbox, yeah. So far, so terrible for yourself. The next big release will be August the 20th. Again, these are all subject to change, but it's Mulan. August the 21st.
I knew about this one. But I haven't seen anything about it. I take it it's another live action remake.
Yeah. Yes.
So I am looking forward to probably avoiding this or watching it and being very unhappy. Wish I was at home still. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, well I'm super excited for Mulan. I love the cartoon. Mushu the Dragon, one of my favorite sidekicks of all time. She's got a cricket, I think she called Lucky. It's a great female-led story, and she's not princess. She's none of that kind of stuff. She comes up, she puts her name in the hat because she knows her father cannot fight a war, and he has no sons, so we'd have to fall to him. And so she takes his place. It's an incredible, I mean, still quite a little bit racist cartoon, but still an amazing cartoon now. Obviously done live action-y. I'm sure the fight sequences and everything will look amazing. I don't know how you'll get the songs in the same manner. You might get good songs. They might work.
Have you not seen any of the remakes so far that Disney's done?
I haven't seen Cinderella. I have seen Beauty and the Beast. It's pretty much it's a like for like.
That was the passable one. I don't think the rest were passable, so I don't see how you can be excited. They're gonna trample on your dreams.
I know, but I love Mulan. It's one of my favorites. It's like if they said they're making Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch. You got me, man. I was so excited for Lion King, and then they destroyed my childhood. Exactly. But it's okay. I think what this is one that I'm gonna enjoy. Definitely.
I mean, at least they can't sort of recast it in a political weird way. I mean, it's already got those sex and race issues in it. So
exactly.
So they can't they probably can ruin it by just throwing even more in and making it not the film it is. But yeah, there's a potential for it. I can see that. But I'd probably look forward to watching it to see how bad it is.
Yeah. So that's August. And then there's two films which I'm not sure if you'd be excited about. One's a horror film called Antebellum and Let Him Go. It's like a drama suspense film with Kevin Costner.
Okay.
So I don't know if you'd be interested in either of them, but yeah, so the actual horror film I'd be into. That was supposed to come out in April, but has been delayed again because obviously a lot of things. But it seems like it could be quite a good kind of film because there's not been many horrors up until kind of like since the delay. We had loads at the start of the year. Most of it, 90% were rubbish, except for Invisible Man. And now, hopefully this one's quite good. Again, bunch of unknowns.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch that one, August the 21st.
But then you say Kevin Costner. I mean, he's not been great, but he's sort of in his retro stage now. He might be one to watch at the moment.
Okay, so here's the premise. A retired sheriff and his wife, played by Diane Lane, fight to rescue their grandson from a dangerous off-grid family upon the death of their son.
A dangerous off-grid family. Yeah. That's interesting. Someone's trying to vilify the off-grid people.
Yes.
People that are trying to escape society and live free of the system are now being vilified by the cinema and Hollywood. That's great. Great news.
So you down for this film?
I'd be interested in it. It's one of those ones that if I get the opportunity to watch it because I've watched all the others that I want to and I'm out, then I'll watch it. And if I don't watch it, I'll probably regret it after a while and think, oh, I should have seen that when I had the chance.
Yes, I think it's going to be one of them. The next film is a film that's been forever trying to come into cinema, and is actually getting a theatrical release. And I don't know which version it's going to be. It's the New Mutants film. So there was a time where just before Dark Phoenix was supposed to be released, 20th Century Fox worked on this idea where they'll have the mutants from the X-Men series, but in kind of a horror kind of element.
Nice.
Where they'll start off, and in the trailer it shows that they capture a mutant, they put them in this facility, and then they've locked them up, all these mutants.
Like Deadpool.
But
that starts off with the facility, and it's
yes. But in this facility, there's another mutant that breaks out and starts killing the mutants one by one, something like that. So it's a different. It's still a superhero movie. It's an R-rated kind of thing, but it's been one that's been kicking around for a while. There's been tons of reshoots, and it's finally, if all goes well, getting an August release now. If it's the original, I'm kind of interested in seeing this, because I do like superhero genre, but I think it's a slightly different take on it. So I'd be interested in that.
The only problem,
X-Men characters.
It sounds too good to be true. Like, we can imagine it being really good, and therefore they could fail to deliver.
Yes, there's a good chance that it's a terrible film, and that's why they had to reshoot it. And then even those reshoots that they didn't like.
And all that reshooting means they're probably changing things constantly and turning it into a mess, complete mess with no vision.
Exactly.
But I'm interested in seeing the
Justice League. We're looking at you.
Thing is, that's why I have a cinema card, right? It's not because I want to see, pay to see movies. It's because I want to have already paid and then go and see terrible movies and not feel bad.
Exactly. Sometimes you just want to watch something terrible.
Yeah.
Just purely because you've got something to talk about. You don't want to watch middling films all the time, but they're just fine. You want to watch a really good one or a really bad one.
But we don't know.
Yes,
this could be good. So
this could be the best. This could be the best X-Men film ever made. We don't know yet. So where do you rate that? PS4 or Xbox?
Let's give it a Sony stamp of approval. Let's go watch that.
PS4. Oh, brilliant! The next film coming out the same day is kind of it's a Benedict Cumberbatch film. It's called The Corey. Exactly. That's why I came with his name first. Sexy. It's a historical drama called The Courier. It's a true story of a British businessman who helped the CIA penetrate the Soviet Union nuclear program during the Cold War. Sounds quite good.
Sounds okay. I like the lead actor.
Yes.
That's all I've got to say about that.
Brilliant. It is going to be. I imagine it'd be quite a longish film, but it sounds like after a while you've had not much films in cinema, so this kind of historical drama based on true life story, this kind of film would be, it will come out, people will talk about it, and I imagine it's one of those that if it's a good film, it'll have a lot of legs, and it'll just keep showing again. In the end, people will be watching it week after week. So I think potentially this could be one of the breakouts of the year.
Excellent. Okay. For me, it's a switch.
It's a switch.
I'm interested, but it has to be if there's nothing else on that I've watched that I wanted to watch more than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that moves us into September the 4th in particular. Now, there's 3 films coming out September the 4th, and I think one film would trample all the other films because it's that good a film. Okay, so the first film is something called The Honest Thief. It's an upcoming action thriller starring Liam Neeson.
Oh, great.
Do I need to tell you the premise? Or it's Liam Neeson. It's an action film. What more do you want to know?
Let's see. Someone gets kidnapped. And he's going to find you and he's going to kill you. It's that simple.
It's a bank robber tries to turn himself in because he's falling in love and he wants to live an honest life. But when he realizes that the feds are more corrupt than he is, he must fight back to clear his name. Liam Neeson. But you know what? There is Jai Courtney in this film.
Okay.
We all know he's rubbish. But it's got Mark Duplass, and he's great. And I don't know why he's in a film like this. Did you ever watch a film called Creep?
I don't remember that one, no.
No. Okay, so him and I think it's his brother they made a film called Creep 1 and Creep 2. And it's a found footage film. Basically, in the thing, he starts off by saying, puts an ad on, I think it's Gumtree, says, oh, basically, I need someone to just document a day of my life because I'm going to pass away, and I want to leave something for my son. So, just come, just talk to me for the day, film me, and all of that stuff. And he just, starts off, and it's all that cool stuff. And then he starts to go super weird. But it's great. It's such a good film. And the sequel is equally good as well. You would just think he's going to do exactly the same thing, but it's not. It's very different. But it's so good. Both of them are good. So he's in it, and I really like him. I can't believe he's going to be in this film. So The Honest Thief, where do you rate that?
I would rate that as go and find Creep and Creep 2 by the sounds of it. And watch those instead.
They're going to be amazing. Yes.
And also watch the first Taken movie, and then you never have to watch Liam Neeson again.
That's so true. So I think that film's going to die anyway. The next film released on that day is a monster film, and it shouldn't be released on this date. They need to shift it, and it's called Monster Hunter. Do you know much about this? This is Paul W.S. Anderson, the man who brought us the Resident Evil franchise, the man who's behind Mortal Kombat, Alien vs Predator, loads of terrible movies that have made money, but some
Mortal
of them
Kombat is awesomely terrible, but it's awesome.
Yeah, he only did the first one, so he didn't do the second one, which was the worst. He also did Death Race, which was really good. Yeah. He's kind of like, I think he did Event Horizon as well. So he's my kind of like the indie
B movie. Almost.
No, kind of ish in a way, because you got stuff like Mortal Kombat, but he did Alien vs Predator, Resident Evil, Death Race, again more Three Musketeers, Pompeii. He's done all sorts of kind of random stuff, but nothing that would kind of solidify him as like a Michael Bay kind of person or kind
nothing great.
Just they're fun movies in a way because some of them make money. And, I enjoy some of them.
That's fun.
So, as long as I enjoy them, yes, they are. He wrote a ton of stories for things. Like he's got writing credit in a bunch of things as well. So he tends to direct. So he wrote, let's see, films that he's wrote that he hasn't directed, because that's quite interesting always. So he wrote, that's a Resident Evil film. Death Race 2, Death Race 3, Death Race 4.
You got writing
credit.
They basically gave him all that. They just gave him writing credit because
they did.
He invented the film basically.
So Monster Hunter, based on a video game. Have you played it?
I haven't played it, but I've heard of it. It's big in Japan, I think, more than here. I think even maybe PS Plus got it free in Japan. We didn't get it, unfortunately.
Yes,
a few months ago. So sadly, I haven't played it, but it's quite an established series, and I'm up to seeing this one. This is a PS4 because it's a video game.
No, I'm on the same boat. I knew straight away when he was directing it. It was called Monster Hunter. It's going to be crazy, over the top. But then the star cast: Mila Djokovic. She is Resident Evil. She's in, she's done video game stuff before. Tony Jaa, who I love and always talk about. He did the On Bank film. T.I., the rapper, again, who I love. I love his music as well. Ron Perlman, Megan Good. So it's got a great star cast. But unfortunately, it's coming out on the same day as a film that's going to absolutely destroy it in the box office. And that is a small film by an independent director called A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, okay.
John Kerensky's. So did you watch the first one? Let's start with that.
I have, yeah. I've seen that. I saw it. I think I saw it in the cinema. And then I forgot that I saw it. And then I saw it on TV as well. I was like, hold on, I've seen this. I did go and see it after all.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Okay. You only thought it was okay. I love this.
And I'm up for the sequel.
Yeah, so this had its kind of premiere in America. They've got like a South by Southwest, I think it's called, where they do horror movies get releases there, and people get to watch the movies beforehand. And so that one came out, and they had a lot of buzz was created off of that. And this was supposed to be coming out in I think just literally as the thing was going, as soon as the coronavirus, and it had had a feel that this movie was going to surpass the original's opening weekend by quite a big chunk as well. The buzz and everything was there. People were really excited for it, so it had its kind of like pre-release buzz, and hopefully it can still stay there till September, because I really want this to do well, because I love John Krasinski.
Yeah.
He's obviously in The Office, and obviously he directed this one and the first one, and he was Jack Ryan, so I love him. But yeah, I think by the end of the film, the world as they've created, you can have endless stories. There's so many things and so many places you can go to. But if the reviews are good, and it follows it doesn't matter what it follows in terms of storyline, as long as it's good, it's got good scares.
Yeah.
And
I love
everything.
the idea. I love the idea of just having to be silent all the time.
Yeah, I remember watching in the cinema and people walked out the thing and they were like, could you hear anything? I was like, yes, I could. It's brilliant.
The sound's broken.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's great.
I remember the trailer even more so. Just it was a very impressive trailer. Just that whole Quiet Place idea. Love it.
Yes. So what are you thinking? Where are you putting this?
This is a PS4, definitely.
PS4, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so this then moves us into September the 11th. There's a film coming out called Two Hearts. I know nothing about it. It's a drama. I'll ignore that. But September the 11th has one of my favorite franchise movies of all time, and that's Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It. How excited are you for another Conjuring movie?
I haven't really seen them, so I have to be honest and put myself in the Xbox class for this. Or at least the Switch.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
At least the Switch.
It's your opinion. You're allowed. You can be wrong.
I might catch up with the series, so that would be Switch area.
Yes, so that'd be good. So obviously, Conjuring has spawned a massive cinematic universe, which includes the 3 Annabelle films, the movie The Nun, the Curse of La Llorona, the 3rd Conjuring film. There's talk about, I think it's The Crooked Man, maybe, or a few others. Anyway, it's one of the most successful cinematic universes of all time. So this is the 3rd story in the Warren family, who's based on true life, because they did the Amityville horror. They investigated that and some others. So they've taken some of the cases, and this is what they're turning into movies. So I don't know anything about the 3rd film. I just know the title, and I know it's a Conjuring film, so I'm in.
You're a PS4 already.
I am PS4 on this one, yeah. But obviously, it's I think it just comes down to like how excited I am about the franchise and how much I love it. So I got a lot of love for that film. So
I mean, I love the horror genre, but I just haven't caught up with all this stuff. We've spoken about this series, and that's how I know about it. Which means that I could go in potentially and enjoy it, but I feel like I'm missing out on so much background as well. So that's why it ends up in that grey area in the middle.
Which is your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next film is from the Kingsman franchise. So did you watch the Kingsman: The Secret Service?
Yes, I've seen them both, I think.
Okay, so this the first one, I loved it. Second one, what did you think of?
I can't remember. It was okay, I think.
It was rubbish. You're right. Okay, so now they've got a 3rd one out, but this one isn't a straight sequel. This is actual a prequel. It's called The Kingsman.
Yeah.
And it stars the beautiful Ralph Fiennes, I think. And I think Matthew Vaughn isn't directing this time, because he was going to be doing. Oh no, he is on board. Yeah, so I thought he's doing a film for DC, but he's on board for this one. Yeah, so it's a period action piece. So it's going back in time, and it'll star Ralph Fiennes, and a whole bunch of other people, but he's the main lead, and it's going to feature kind of like how the whole kind of Kingsman came about.
Yeah.
And kind of like what it is and how they all came about and the whole kind of history of it all. So it sounds quite interesting, because I didn't like the last one. So I'm hoping he can redeem the series, because the first one was really good. And then, the second one wasn't that good. So how excited are you for the Kingsman?
Well, now you've told me all about it. Xbox.
Oh man, poor Matthew.
You really sold it.
I was gonna say it's Matthew Vaughn though. I mean, he's still at the helm. So let me tell you how good this guy is. Okay, so he directed Layer Cake. Did you ever watch that?
I can't remember. Probably
It's got Daniel Craig.
Oh,
Then he did Stardust, which you may not have seen. Then you must have seen Kick-Ass, the first
of course,
one,
yes.
the good one.
Yeah.
Then he did X-Men First Class,
Mm.
and then he did the Kingsman movies. I think he's really good, but yeah.
Maybe
he also produced.
Already.
No, but he produced stuff like Lock, Stock, Snatch, Mean Machine, Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. But I think he's always done good and well.
That's not helping.
It's not, is it? Okay. For you, that's an Xbox. Let's move on.
Okay.
Move on. The next one is one of the most exciting movies of the year for myself. That is September 2015. It is, of course, Candyman.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So there's a Candyman remake. That's right. So the original, thinking back to when it may have come out, but it is a long, long time ago. You stand in front of a mirror of 1992, and if you say his name, Candyman, I think you turn off the lights, turn it back on, and then the Candyman would appear, and he'd give you a lollipop.
Nice.
That was the
nice guy.
I know. He stayed 5 times in front of a mirror, and you turn. I remember watching this film when I was really young, but obviously it'd been out a number of years, and there's a spoiler alert for a film that's been out quite a while. There's a moment where he spits out all these bees, and they're live bees. They're not CGI. They're not this fake stuff now. Real bees, and it's quite scary. But he also got paid $1,000. He put it in his contract like, I'll do that, but you got to pay me $1,000 every time I get stung by a bee. And he got stung, I believe, like 25 times.
Wow.
That's still a lot.
That's a way to make money, though, isn't it? That's the way to do it.
It is, but you're being stung, aren't you?
You're just being £1,000 for one sting.
Yes, still. Okay, so Candyman remake. The Candyman remake is written by our good friend Jordan Peele. So how excited are you for this one?
I'm looking forward to it. I have to say I'm interested in it. I'm teetering towards a PS4 in interest. And
what will push you over is if I tell you who's in it. Not that it really matters, but the main lead, he was the Black Manta in Aquaman, and I know you love that film, so I won't mention that. But he was the guy in Us.
Yeah, I mean the It remakes did well, so I just need a bit of hyping up with trailers and that. I think they can do that.
So there has been a trailer out, but what I thought might have just excited you enough was knowing that Jordan Peele is producing, writing the screenplay for it.
Oh, okay.
But if that's not the case, then I can't help you. The director of this is his first kind of motion picture. He's only done like TV show episodes, so you never know. You never know because it can go both ways. But that's Candyman, and where are you putting Candyman?
Let's put it in PS4. Yes. Let's see which way it swings when we go watch it.
Jordan Peele. October the 2nd is the next big nationwide release, and that is a film simply called Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
How excited are you for the next Wonder movie?
PS4. This is PS4.
PS4 straight off the bat. Yeah, Patty Jenkins is back.
Yeah, I mean, DC have had such an unbroken record of great movies so far.
Yes. Hit after hit after hit. Critically acclaimed, commercially successful, all that cool jazz.
So I have my misgivings, but we will see. We will see. This is one I definitely need to see because, I mean, Wonder Woman was their first good movie for a long time.
Yes.
So can they hit 2 for 2?
I think what they did with some of the other films, they signed up their directors for multiple picture deals, but they didn't do that with Patty Jenkins, and she went away and made Wonder Woman, and then they realized this is their biggest hit film, the biggest franchise. They realized that too late, and then they're like, okay, we need you for the second, and she then negotiated a bigger wage, which is great because she deserves it because she made your best film in your whole DCEU nonsense.
You see, there's clues here already, though, to it could be a flop.
Well, I don't think so. I think she's such a great pedigree director. She knows the subject now. I think, you've given her go make a film. She made a really good one. The third act was rubbish, but up until that point, it was so good. Like, that whole bit where you're running through, what's it called? No Man's Land? The whole World War element to it was incredible. The way it's done, and all kind of making Wonder Woman feel like she's not a sex symbol. She's just this superhero that people can look up to, and she is what Superman films should have been. This beacon of life, this incredible person that we all as a world look up to, who can be held in high esteem. I think she understood all those elements, and she brought that to the screen, and we saw her outfit, colorful, vibrant, saving the world the way Superman should have been doing, saving people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about Wonder Woman, was that the character had principles, and that was the very point of it. Rather than the character just being there to look and have powers. She actually had a human ideal that we can sort of live up to. And by the sounds of it from the trailer, she's got another sort of moral idea that will be going through the film. So I think that's got good promising signs for the movie. The thing that could go against it is just, will they meddle? Will they say, oh, this is one of our successful movies now, we will meddle in your masterpiece and we will tear it apart from the producer side, which I think is probably what happened to all the other movies, but didn't happen to Wonder Woman, because they thought, oh, this is just a side project, we're not going to sign anyone up for it. But hopefully it will be left to the people that are making the art to do it proper.
Yeah, because I feel like Justice League is getting a recut, the Snyder cut. There's a start of the film which is the rooftop scene with Batman. I think that's all Zack Snyder. Then there's this action beat for Wonder Woman, and I think that got added in purely because of the success of the very first Wonder Woman film. They realize that she's marketable, she's credible, she is successful, critically, commercially, everything. We put our eggs in different baskets when we should have been concentrating on this character.
Well, they should have been doing that.
Added her. And then I think they added those sequences in to try and make her the predominant character. And it's, you're chopping and changing this terrible movie and you're trying to shorten it. But we'll see how good the original Snyder cut is when that comes out.
They should be doing that. They should be doing that with all their Justice League characters. They should be making sure they're all solid, and they shouldn't be brushing over any of them if they want to build a franchise and take on Marvel.
Yes. So this is PlayStation 4 for me.
Oh, good.
And then literally the week after is a film called Death on the Nile. Now, did you watch the Agatha Christie, Kenneth Branagh directed Murder on the Orient Express?
I'm not sure. I've seen quite a lot of things like that.
So there's a new Murder on the Orient Express which came out in 2017, I think.
Okay,
had an incredible star cast. Kenneth Branagh directed and starred in it. And it has it's got Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp, Josh Gad. I think we've spoken about it. Daisy Ridley's in it, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Was it
hell
good?
Of a star cast. It's fine. It's not great. It's just because there's so many good people, so many great actors. Everyone's going to get a tiny bit of screen time, and you have to follow Agatha Christie, so you have to follow Kenneth Branagh.
That's the problem. I mean, the story's already there, and they're just going to be doing that story. They can't really focus on all those big names.
No. And so they're coming back, and it's going to be Death on the Nile. So it's the next book, and he says that at the end of the film of Murder on the Orient Express. I think this kid comes up to him and said, "Oh, there's been a death
on the Nile."
And yeah, exactly that. Yeah. And so this time around, he's got Gal Gadot's in there. Then the girl who was in Black Panther, who played Black Panther's sister, Letty Wright, Armie Hammer, Annette Bening, some Ali Faisal guy, I'm not sure, Tom Bateman. So again, they've gone for this huge star cast again. Jennifer Saunders, Russell Brand, and I think they're going to follow a similar theme. Yeah, well, you need a bit of comedy. I don't know. I thought the first one was fine. But, I mean, the gal's going to be in it, and I think she's the second name in it, so I might be thinking it might be good.
Let's go. Is the central character a good actor though? Does he do it well?
Kenneth Branagh. Oh, this is the thing, right? I never saw the original, so I don't know what Pyro should be like. But he's got an annoying accent, Kenneth Branagh, and that could be intentional because that's what the character should be. I don't know, and I just found it a little bit grating.
I can imagine.
After about an hour and a half, I could put up with it for a while, but it just kept going on. What I'd like to have seen, I know the story's written and it is the way it is you have a murder mystery, which is what I think I always say. It's like you have a good murder mystery. Something happens, someone dies. But there's a clue in the background that we don't notice because it's just blurred out. Or there's and they do this really well in the first Mission Impossible, where John Reno takes out this little knife, and it's the same knife that Tom Cruise finds when he is trying to save one of his MI6 MI agents, and he pulls this knife out, which is just it's a quick 1 second, like it's on screen, disappears. But then when he's doing his bit, when he jumps out the air conditioning unit and he's doing that famous scene now, which has been parodied hundreds of millions of times, and he's taking the thing out of that room and he goes right to the top, and John Reno is about to grab the thing and the knife falls out of his hand and it lands on the table. So that gives you the clue that it was him all along who did the killings. I like to see something cool like that, so me, the viewer, can solve it too.
Yeah.
I don't want it so it's like there's a death, there's no clues, we're not going to tell you anything about it, but just watch me solve it.
Yeah, there's two schools of mystery, isn't there? There's one where you get the clue, and there's one where just everyone is a suspect, and then at the end, Poirot comes along and talks to all of them, and then tells you who it was, and there was never any clue.
That's it. I just want to see like a snippet of a clue somewhere. It could be in the back shot. Then it makes me want to watch the film a second time, because then I could be like, oh, I missed this. I missed that as well. That was so clever that they did these things. But if they do that, I'm in. If they don't, and it's just he solves it all, and he just tells me by sitting them all down at the very end, I solved it because of this, then no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
This is an Xbox.
I mean, is this an Xbox for you then? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've seen the trailer for the other one, the first one, and you're right. The acting is very much acting, and that would annoy me of the main character Poirot. Probably just go back and watch old episodes of Poirot. It'd be easier, or watch any other Agatha Christie's. Really, there's so many good old mystery series. I do love them though. I do love old series like what other ones are there? There's was it Miss Marple?
Yes, Murder She Wrote.
Good. There's Murder She Wrote, which is a big famous one. Columbo. Oh, I love Columbo.
Showed you the start though. He showed you who died and how they died, and then you just watch him.
Columbo, you always knew who did it because he's always talking to that person.
Yeah, constantly.
Never stops hounding them.
Yes.
But yeah, I do love those sort of series. They tend to be hour-long series, or sometimes 2-hour-long episodes, rather than actually movies.
Yeah.
But remaking them in movies, I'm not sure how well that's going to work by the sound of it. But yeah, Xbox.
Brilliant. Okay, so the next one, October 16th. This is the one that I'm looking forward to. Halloween Kills. So the sequel to the Halloween movie that came out a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Halloween film?
I don't think I did.
So they've made Halloween years ago. John Carpenter's original.
They've remade it.
And then they made a sequel that was called Halloween, which came out. I think a couple of years back now, so maybe 2018. And it was basically, they said, let's ignore all the other Halloween movies, and this is going to be simply the sequel to John Carpenter's original. And so this would be number 2. Now, Halloween Kills would therefore be number 3 in the list.
Yeah.
And again, it's written by Danny McBride, and they did such a good job with the first one. So I'm really looking forward to this. But yourself, you never saw Halloween. How excited are you for another Halloween film?
You know what? The name is good. It's very much.
Kills.
Yeah, they just took Machete and
Yes, that's right. I never thought that.
Machete Kills. Oh.
Yes.
I hope the next one after this is Halloween Kills in Space.
Yes.
So we're still waiting for Machete.
So this is PS4.
Yeah, PS4. Let's see it. Present them. As South Park says. Present them.
Yes. The next film out the same weekend is a movie called The Trial of the Chicago 7. So this is based on a true life crime drama, and it stars Ali G, amongst other people. And it's based on the story of the Chicago 7. So a group of 7 defendants charged with the federal government crime of conspiring to incite to riot and other charges related to anti-Vietnamese war. It's quite a boring film, but I'm sure it's really good.
It's important to some Americans.
It will be. I'm shitting on it for no reason. It's going to be a really good film. Some of these films that are based on true life events that happened whenever they did, they're actually really, really good. Like obviously Fruitvale Station, When They See Us Now. So many like biopics that have that cover such an important subject matter. Is really good. It's just coming to October. I'm in Halloween mode. I'm in fun mode. I don't know if I want to watch it at that point. It's more of a January film for me.
Wait till it comes out on VOD.
Yes, that's it.
3 stars already. You haven't seen it yet.
Yes. I won't watch it in the cinema. I will watch it though. But I think it's going to be a VOD. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Xbox for me.
So the next film is October 23rd. Now, if this happens, that is, because I don't know if it's still scheduled or if they've even started making it or anything. It's called Snake Eyes. So this is G.I. Joe. One of the characters in G.I. Joe is called Snake Eyes. And it serves as his origin film. Right. How excited would you be to see a G.I. Joe origin film called Snake Eyes?
Not really. Xbox, I suppose. It sounds interesting though. I'd have to look into it. If it can get me excited for it, then yeah, maybe.
I think once the first trailer drops, I'm kind of on board because I quite like the character Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe films. They are quite bad. He's got a really, really good action sequence on the cliff edge when he's fighting against other people, and they basically are they're paragliding down, so they've got a rope and then just kind of jumping down the cliff, and he's fighting against, so they're swinging from rope to rope, but on a cliff edge. It looked great. So hopefully, if it's got more kind of martial artsy action like that, hand to hand, I think it could be good. If it's CGI mess, then nah.
What do you think it'll be?
I think it might be hand to hand combat. I think
cool.
Times have changed now. I think people are going back to the kind of old school fighting. I think so.
Yeah. People realise that the authentic experience is actually making something, not just doing it in computers.
Yes. So I'm quite excited for it.
Cool. Are you PS4 excited or Switch excited?
A Switch. Hate to say it, but Switch excited.
It's now Switch is a thing. You've accepted it.
I have. The next film I'm really excited about because it's from Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Lord and Miller, Lego film. They also worked on Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, so obviously these two are incredible. They also did 21 and 22 Jump Street. I think 21 they directed, and 22 maybe they did. No, they directed both. So they directed Lego Movie, 2122 Jump Street, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Nice.
They've obviously helped with Lego Batman movie, but most importantly, obviously, they were in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So yes, the one you haven't seen, one of the best movies of all time. You haven't seen, shame. So they are producing a film, so they're not directing, but they're heavily involved in a film called Connected. But it's a animated film, a Sony animated film. It's about kind of like I think the trailer or the picture I saw was when a dad's sitting down to have dinner with his family. They're all sat around playing on their phones, all connected in that manner. And he's come up with an idea of let's go on this trip, and we will try and be connected, but without appliances like mobile phones and stuff, and see if we can kind of connect in a different kind of the normal way that people used to do back in the day.
Rings a bell.
For me, this sounds really good, and it's got Danny McBride as a voice as one of the characters. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward for this one.
I guess something happens when they're out on their adventures to make a story.
Of course it does. And it's got Abby Jacobson as well. She's from Broad City. She's really funny. So it's got some really good comedians in kind of like Olivia Colman's in this as well. Yeah, Academy Award winner.
Sounds good. I'd like to say I'm PS4 on this one, but I know that in reality I'm probably Switch. I might end up missing it like Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, I still can't believe you missed that.
And regretting it. So as much as I'm PS4 on the idea, it may be a Switch area.
Yes, I'm PS4 for that one. The next film coming out on the 30th of October is a film starring Hilary Swank, Michael Ealy. Now, this guy is the most handsome man you'll ever see. He starred in the music video for Halo. He's been in films like Think Like a Man, About Last Night, The Perfect Guy. I mean, the title says it all. This dude is so beautiful, right? Anyway, he's in it, and some others. Mike Colter, he was in Defenders of Luke Cage, and it's an upcoming action thriller. That's all I've got down here for it. But knowing that he's in it, I'd be like, what? I'd watch that. And Hilary Swank, I mean, she's not done a ton of movies, but she did win back-to-back Academy Awards, so she's a good actress.
Yeah, sounds good. Make a date for it.
Yes. That's for me. It's a PS4.
Excellent. For me, I have no idea really still on that one. I'm going to reserve judgment till it's not on the cinema anymore and it's too late.
Okay, so what's your rating though before we skip on to November releases?
Let's just say Xbox.
Okay, that's all right. So
I'm not sold.
Okay, so November the 6th is the release of Black Widow. Do I need to tell you any more about this film?
I take it's a Marvel movie.
It's the next Marvel movie starring Scarlett Johansson's character, Natasha Romanoff.
What are we on to now? We're no longer on phases, are we? Because we've done all 4 phases. Is it 4 phases?
3 phases.
3 phases.
This is start of the phase 4.
This is Universe 2, isn't it? Isn't it like?
So this would be a movie that sits between, I think, follows the events of Captain America: Civil War before the Avengers movies. So this will be in that timepiece where Civil Wars happened, everyone went quiet. Then Infinity War happened. This is her story in between.
Yeah. It's not building up towards Infinity War though, so therefore it's the next phase.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and it stars Scarlett Johansson, David Harbour, but it's also got Florence. I can't pronounce her name properly, but Florence Pull or Pug, something like that. She was in Midsummer. She got an Academy Award nomination for Little Women. She's really good. She was really good in Midsummer. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
The movie's all right, but she was really good in that. So she's in it. And then, Rachel Weisz, Ray Winston, William Hurt, to name just a few others. So, yes, how excited or what rating are you giving Black Widow?
Well, I'm PS4 when it comes to seeing it. I need to keep up with my Marvel universe. So yeah, I'll be there.
Perfect. Yeah. Then there's a film called Clifford the Big Red, which I don't know much about, but it's like a live action CGI. So we'll skip over
Clifford the
that.
dog.
Do you know Clifford the dog?
I remember the song from it.
Yeah.
It's
How
fondly.
excited are you to
All I
watch this
remember
film?
is Clifford the dog.
So this is the PS4 for you. No,
This is
put it
probably
in your calendar
PS4.
now. Put it in your calendar.
Honestly,
Don't
it
forget.
probably
No,
is.
open up that phone. Put in November the 13th, opening day. You need to
Oh, it
watch it.
it is totally. I mean, come on, it's live action. It's like Dora all over again. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
I've never had a bit Clifford. So, but okay, that's fine. That's November the 13th is most probably the most anticipated movie of the year.
yeah,
Clifford. We've
confirmed.
done it. We've confirmed it. Okay.
Yeah.
The following week, on the other hand, there's two small movies coming out. A film called No Time to Die, which is the latest James Bond film.
Oh, brilliant!
How excited are you for the last Daniel Craig outing?
Can't wait for it to be over.
And then we could get Idris Elba, and
Yeah,
we could get Emily Blunt. We could now
yeah,
spin off into all sorts of stuff. Naomi Harris is already part of the Bond franchise. Yes.
yeah.
Now
I
I'm
think we're
actually
gonna.
seeing the trailers. I am a little bit excited for this one.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Craig, James Bonds are good action films. I have to say.
Yeah.
I just don't like him as a Bond, but
Or a
um,
human being.
or a human being. Yeah, exactly. But this might be the last male James Bond we get.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we can go a different
Think
way.
we might get a female James Bond yet. We might get a female black James Bond. Try and mix
Yes.
up as much as possible. Probably all three things that they could possibly change. Maybe 4 or 5 different things.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. For me, that's PS4. What about yourself?
Um, mm, probably. I might just wait until it's on the TV.
Wow. That's an Xbox.
Yeah, but it's big action, so at the same time you want to see it in the cinema.
So where are you putting this?
No rating. Daniel Craigie.
Oh man. Okay, that's fine. There's no rating. You kicked him to the curb. Then the next film is a film by Pixar Animation Studios called Soul, starring Jamie Foxx. So I love Pixar. They can make
Yeah,
anything, and I
exactly.
will watch it. And
Yeah,
it's good because it's an original film, like Onward.
yeah. Onward.
So
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if you saw Onward. Did you see it?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Onward. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, so it starred. It was voiced by Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Hell of a
Right.
star cast, right? It came out early this year, and then the Corona came along, and I don't think it's
Destroyed
been
it.
released. Yeah,
Oh, no.
basically, it's available on VOD and on Disney's streaming service. It's good. It's really good. So they got another film out this year. It's called Soul.
Yeah.
So it's about like a jazz singing. Because I didn't watch the trailer. If it's a Pixar film, I'm not watching the trailer. I'm just watching the film.
Cool. That's all we need to know then. His soul is
I
about
just
things.
need to know, it's Pixar. You don't need to tell me anything more about it. I'm watching it.
Yeah. If it's in the
But this one,
cinema, I'm on board.
this one actually is a screenplay from Mike Jones, who I don't know much about. But Tina Fey is involved in this. So I love Tina Fey. She voices a character in this. It's got obviously got Jamie Foxx as well. So yeah, I'm
Excellent.
super on board for this one.
Yeah. PS4. Can't
PS4,
wait.
yeah, PS4 Pro. Uh, and then
PS5.
we're into this. Now we're into December with a couple more big releases and a ton of small ones. So the next big one is December the 11th. It's called Free Guy. It's a movie called Free Guy.
Yes.
Have
I
you?
can't wait for this one.
Straight away, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
PS4.
I don't know
Tell
if
us,
it's going to be good, but I've been
tell
looking
us what
forward
it's
to it.
about then, because you're so excited. Tell us what.
What I vaguely know or remember is that it's about an NPC in a video game who Obviously, he goes through the same routines. He has to die to the main character all the time, that sort of thing. Or I think he's like an average Joe sometimes, just wander around the town, doing the fixed routines. So it's very much about video game stuff, which is why I like it, the sound of the idea. But one day he sort of breaks free from the programming, I guess, is the sort and becomes the hero. So it's video game related. I can't wait. A bit like Pixels was video game related,
and it turned out to be so good. But this one stars. Do you know who's in the film?
No.
Ryan Reynolds.
I know the one. Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yes, it's our boy Ryan Reynolds. Yes, super excited for this. Yes, definitely, I agree with you 100%. Video games is our forte. Movies is our forte. Put the two together. How can you go wrong?
And then with Ryan Reynolds, that's the third trifecta.
Yes, that is it.
Can't go wrong with Ryan Reynolds except for his first movies, which we don't talk about.
They're all classics. We never talk about anything but his classics. So the director of this film, he's done Night of the Museum, The Internship, Date Night, which I absolutely love. That's such a good film. Cheaper by a Dozen, the first one, Just Married. So it's got kind of a hit miss, but he does good comedy.
You're putting me off now.
No, but he's done like Date Night is such a good film, like so funny. Internship's got some great laugh out loud moments. Real Steel actually has a touching father-son element to it, even though it's about robots bashing each other in. I think he's the right man for this.
Excellent. Okay.
So definitely super excited for this one. Ryan Reynolds. I think it's also got Taika Waititi's in it as well.
You know what? I may be looking forward to this movie even more than Clifford the Dog.
Oh, that's that's a bold thing to say.
It might have been on the top for this year's movie.
Wow. Okay, so this could be number one now.
Except for you, it's Soul.
I'll go through the list again. I think it is. Yeah, I don't think there'll be another film better than that. Okay, so the next film, as you talked about how excited we are about Free Guy, is a movie I think you're excited about. It's called West Side Story.
Is that like the musical?
It's the musical, yes.
Yeah.
There's three films coming out on the same day. And from the three, I think you're going to be down for West Side Story over the other two.
Compared to what other two?
Coming to America 2, which I'm super excited about.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is a film that I don't think you have any interest in. It's called Dune. I know you hate Dune.
To be fair, I haven't really watched the original properly, but I'm really interested in the remake.
I know you're really excited. This was your big film of the year. until you heard Ryan Reynolds was in Free Guy.
Yeah, and then it all got cancelled. I mean, I'm not overly excited, but it definitely got me pegged with that West Side Story stuff. I mean,
it's going to be great, West Side. So it's coming out just before Christmas, similar time to Greatest Showman came out. A couple of movies, movies like that. I'm just thinking there was another film. Maybe La La Land as well. So it's kind of like the right time, Christmassy time to have that sort of film come out.
I think a good review would be almost as good as Cats.
Cats came out this. Yeah. You know what? I haven't seen that. I know people shit on it.
Me neither.
I expected it to be CGI Cats. I don't know why people were moaning about it, but I have to watch it.
I've actually seen a pretty in-depth review which explains why people are very put off by it, but it intrigues me actually. I think they really did make a terrible job of it by the sounds of it, but it's in such a weird way that I actually want to see it now. I want to see Cats.
I do too. Yeah, exactly. So from the three, Dune, Coming to America, West Side Story, what's your rating on each one?
I mean, Coming to America, that's a long-awaited sequel. Wow.
Yes. Arsenio Hall's back. Eddie Murphy is back.
Oh, you know
Tracy
what?
Morgan. Leslie Jones. You know Leslie Jones from Ghostbusters.
Oh, right.
She's in it as well.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. definitely one of those three.
So which one's the Xbox, which one's the PlayStation 4, and which one's the Switch out of those three?
You know that there is one of each, really, isn't there? So
yes.
Which order shall I do them in?
Any order.
Okay. So, well, then Xbox, I think, is the West Side Story.
Okay.
Not interested. Dune is the Switch. I'm interested to see it, to see if it's good. But Coming to America 2 sounds epic.
Yeah.
That's the PS4.
Brilliant. Yeah. I kind of agree with you, but I think West Side Story might be one of those breakout hit films of the year.
Yeah.
Of the season, not the year.
All the La La Lands and stuff.
Yeah. Or it could go down the Cats route. You're right.
I think it's the Cats route, but.
And then just before Christmas Day, on the 23rd, two films, both sequels. The Crods. Did you ever see The Crods #1?
I don't think so.
The Crods 2. So this was voiced by Nicolas Cage, the man who used to be like untouchable. Like we used to love him. He used to be in so many great things.
I hated him then, but now I love him. He's the star of indie now. He's brilliant.
He is, isn't he? Anyway, it's still voiced by him. He plays the dad, and then Emma Stone plays. I think she plays his daughter or his kid. One of the two.
I might have seen this actually.
It's a prehistoric film. They're kind of like cave people. And
I remember
look. So let's just walk through who's in it. Nicolas Cage, Emma Stone, Ryan Reynolds, right? Leslie Mann. Ryan Reynolds is back. He's got two films, and Peter Dinklage is in this as well. It's got a really good voice star cast again. I quite liked the first one. I'd have to hate to say it. I did like it. It's quite funny. So this is I would watch, but if someone said you can only watch one computer animated film of the year, it won't be this one. But I am quite interested in this one. But where do you stand?
I mean, as far as I remember, it was a good movie. A bit some heartwarming values to it as well.
Yeah.
And the cast sounds good. Would I watch it on, Christmas Day? Christmas Eve?
Just 23rd, just before Christmas Day.
Just before Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'd watch it then, but maybe in January it'd be one to watch.
So where would you put this though?
I think it's
Switch.
Oh, it's definitely a Switch in January. It's not something I would jump to watch.
Okay. I think for me this is PS4, but that's fine. The next movie is a long-awaited sequel. I'm gonna have to, if I was to guess, the original came out in '86. The sequel is now coming out in 2020. I think a lot of the original star cast is back, and it's going to star Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, who's a beautiful man, Glenn Powell, Lewis Pullman, Ed Harris, and Val Kilmer. What is this movie?
No idea.
And a small indie actor called Tom Cruise playing Maverick.
Tom Cruise playing Maverick?
Yes.
Is it Forrest Gump 2?
It is. He feels the need for speed. That's right. So the sequel, are you interested in this firstly? Top Gun 2.
Top Gun 2. I mean, it sounds like a bit of fun. So I'm interested in it for that aspect, but I'm not really interested in Top Gun in general.
So do you remember the original? Do you remember loving it or liking it or hating it or think it's all right?
Disinterested in it, really.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it many times, but never really remember it. It's not like Cocktail, That's more memorable.
Oh, yes. That and Colour of Money.
There we go. So we've got some better ones already.
Yes. Risky Business, where he's just running around the house with just shorts on, his underwears. So many great films, so many iconic things he's done in his lifetime. He's hung off an airplane. I mean, once you've done that, what's there left to do? You climbed the tallest mountain in the tallest building in the world, right? And he was hanging off the edge of that. I mean, he's Tom Cruise. He can do anything.
Yeah, you have to say one thing for it is Tom Cruise does pull all the stops out when he's involved in a film. So that could be in the film's favor, definitely, the sequel.
Yeah. So Nintendo Switch then.
Yeah, Switch. And then that's all of 2020, or is that?
That is, yeah. And there's a film on Christmas Day, but it's called News of the World, which is like a Western drama. Directed Paul Greengrass. He did one of the Bourne films, but it stars Tom Hanks.
It's a Western?
Yeah, Western drama.
Sounds good. I'm liking the Westerns.
Yeah. Okay.
Christmas Day. I'll be
Christmas Day, though. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. So that's gone straight to PS4.
Nah, Switch. At least. Maybe Xbox.
Due to the coronavirus, a whole heap of movies moved straight to DVD, or straight to VOD,
Yeah.
sorry. Trolls 2 was one of them. That grossed like $100 million in VOD.
I didn't even get to see Trolls. I missed it.
No, Trolls 1 is fine, but they made a second one. Anyway, it did really well. So some movies are following that suit, and some are being purchased by streaming services like My Spy, which is really good. It's quite funny. It's got Dave Bautista. A movie called Lovebirds. Don't watch the trailer, watch the film. So funny. Two incredible leads, very, very funny. And a whole bunch of other movies are coming across. And I think the one we wanted to talk about that's coming straight to VOD is the one that made you almost destroy your whole cinema pass, and that's SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, how can that go to VOD? I've watched all the movies in the cinema so far.
Yes, so
two of them.
So they watched what they did with Trolls, and Trolls became very successful. And it broke a bunch of kind of like digital demand records and stuff by skipping the theatrical release. It works out a bit cheaper, I imagine, and therefore they created enough buzz. But it was at the start of the pandemic. It was the start of we're closing everything down, so it could be just the lightning in the bottle.
Yeah, that's
so
all.
They want to follow suit. Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, it's almost like going back to the old straight to video sequels.
Yes.
So maybe it is a good model that works, especially if you don't have as strong a sequel as the previous film. Then it might be a good idea just to put it to VOD.
Yeah, it's an inexpensive way to get your film out. The new Tom Hanks film's going straight there. Not the one that we just spoke about. There's another one in between that's going straight there. Kevin Bacon's new horror movie went straight to VOD. So some big movies there's a Disney film called Artemis Flow that was supposed to be a franchise starter based on these big novel books. That went straight to Disney streaming. Actually got rubbish reviews anyway, so it didn't really matter. They would have lost a ton of movie money on there.
Yeah,
the new Scooby-Doo film.
If they put it on the cinema, though, it gives it a little bit more weighting. Like people might rate it slightly higher, You
lose a lot of money though.
Yeah.
Because you imagine, you still got to pay for all the advertising and marketing. So if you're talking about $100 million film, you might pump a similar amount into just marketing. So now your movie needs to make 300 or 400 million to break even.
Well, they need to print some posters at least. Cinemas.
This thing, you just chuck it on your streaming service.
What more do they pay for marketing to get cut out in the cinema?
TV adverts. You've got radio adverts. You're flying people out to do interviews. YouTube adverts. It's an expensive kind of rollout. So I could see why you could drop it. So the new Scooby-Doo film's going straight to video on demand as well. It's skipping theatrical release.
But that doesn't really decide whether it's in the cinema or VOD. At the end of the day, the more you market it, the more money it's going to make.
Not necessarily.
Wherever you put it. Yes, necessarily. Always.
No.
If you don't put the money in, you're not going to make the money out.
No, because look at John Carpenter. Not John Carpenter. Was it? There's a Disney. Disney do this a lot. Disney chucked a lot of money at some of their releases last year. Look at Dumbo.
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
People still went to see it until they found out how bad it was.
Exactly. So they chucked a ton of money at it, but it didn't come back with money. They lost a ton of money on those films.
Good. They deserve to lose money over Dumbo.
One really good film, again, that missed a cinematic release in all of this was The Five Bloods. Have you seen this yet? This is on Netflix. No. It's this new Spike Lee film. It's incredible. It is so good. It follows like 4 Black Vietnamese veterans who return to the country to recover the body of their former squad leader. And it stars, I think it's got an incredible star cast, but it's so good. Like, so sometimes, you could dump a film onto a streaming platform, but it's actually a really good film. It doesn't always need a cinematic release. So
it takes away those costs. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it does. And, a film like that might have more legs in VOD streaming service than it would have done in cinema. I know more people might get to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to send out prints of it or anything like that. It's all just put it in one place and everyone downloads it, or millions all over the world. So.
Yeah, because we're talking about releases and tons of delays, I thought we'll just quickly end off with one last thing. So normally films can take months, a year or so to make, whatever. Movies like Paranormal Activity can be turned around in a couple of weeks. It's just found footage. So I thought, let's talk about some of the longest movies to have spent time in production. See if you know the name and if you think it was worth the wait or not. Okay, so the first film on the list coming in at number 15 is 4 years. And there's a movie called Movie 43. Do you remember this film? Did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it, no.
It's just got a whole bunch of like A-list stars, like Hugh Jackman's in it. Loads of other kind of very famous, Halle Berry, I think. Famous people. And they just do outrageous random things. And it's almost like a skit. And it keeps jumping between things. To try and get everyone's schedules and kind of like do all of that, and they had multiple directors. That's why it took so long. The film was a failure commercially and critically. So yeah, it wasn't really worth the 4 years.
We could do a whole episode on this if you've got 15 of
them. Most of these I've not heard of, so we'll skip through a bunch of them. That's why. The next one is The Fall, which again took 4 years. I know nothing about this film, but I will skip on. Now, 1930s Hell Angels. And the reason why this one took so long, it was just it's shooting stuff in the air, like because they're doing these amazing like fighting sequences of airplanes. It took over like 3 years to shoot.
Oh, okay.
And then you got to do reshoots and stuff like that. So it took a large period of time based on that. Actually, I can't see many people saying terrible things about it. It seems like it was a good film. I haven't seen it.
They put in all that effort then.
It was groundbreaking at the time, I'm sure, yeah. The next film was 5 years. It's called Samara. It's a non-narrative documentary. Again, I don't know anything about it, so we'll just skip ahead. The next one was 2012's Every Day. So it's a British film, revolves around convicted drug smugglers. And it was such an incredibly, such a long time. It took them 5 years to shoot that film.
Why? Do you know why?
No. Just because they were just filming small segments at a time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just it's just one of those things. It's not clear as to why. The next one you may or may not have heard of called Eraserhead. This is considered to be one of David Lynch's finest films and a game changer in horror genre.
Right.
But it took 5 years to make. He dedicated his time to make it. It had extensive reshoots, extended shots, and delays in schedules and stuff. And it just took him forever to kind of make the film.
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting paid for it.
Exactly,
Imagine being one of those people on the sets, though, like 5 years.
5 years, I know. Keep going back to the same thing. The next one you may have heard of is 1979's Apocalypse Now.
Okay, yeah.
So this is everyone talks about. It's like maybe one of the best kind of war films of its generation. I think it's Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola's film. And the budget was just crazy. It took over 4 and a bit years to do. So you imagine keep going back to the same place in Vietnam or wherever it is and shooting a war film. It's taking years to do. But it's a great film. Everyone talks about how widely loved it is still.
Yeah.
But it takes a large chunk of your life away. You get Martin Sheen, Marlon Brando, hell of a star cast.
Yeah.
Number 8, a film that some people say caused the death of a director, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen this?
I think I've seen some of it. I never remember. I think I probably have seen it, yeah.
So it took like over 4 years, constant script changes, extended shoots, long production. The film was also recognized as having the longest continuous shot, which took
Kubrick
15 months just to do that one shot.
That's Kubrick for you.
And obviously working with him was really challenging for the actors because they both then filed for divorce after this film.
Wow.
And obviously Stanley Kubrick passed away shortly after this film as well, so it must have been a hell of a film to make. It wasn't that good.
Compared to the rest of his
that's the problem, right? Yeah.
Kind of strange, isn't it? It's an odd one out.
So then there was a film called Perspective. This came out in 2020. So this came out now. It's about a love triangle, but it's spread over what they say 9 chapters, and each chapter was filmed in consecutive years. So the first one was shot in 2012.
Wow.
The next chapter would be 2013. The next chapter, like that. So
it's like
over the course of kind of, yeah. It sounds like a really interesting premise because there's a film lower down the project which I love the idea of. But they said the director had lost interest in 1997 and abandoned the project.
Wow.
So, only 5 years in. And so it's taken so long to get complete because they couldn't find someone else to take over.
Yeah, they wanted to finish it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's crazy. Obviously, number 6, 2009's Avatar. So this, the reason why Avatar 2 is not on the list because it hasn't been made yet, but Avatar took 10 years to produce.
Wow.
So, developing the script, making the technology right, doing that 3D stuff, just patiently waiting for the right time for it to all be available and then shooting it and, doing all that stuff. So 9 years to make, at the time, the highest grossing film of all time.
Not worth it.
It's a waste of time, right?
I not liked it, but I don't.
You hated it.
Then
there's a 1960s film called Mowgli Azam. That's a Bollywood film by the looks of things, and it took them 10 years to complete from start to finish, with almost the entire star cast having to revisit all the shooting again.
Wow.
So they made it and they're doing reshoots, and then they had to go back and film the whole thing.
Why? What happened?
Because they just didn't like it, I imagine. And then, they after a whole lot of editing and removing certain songs, the film still ran for 197 minutes.
Oh, I mean, it's got kind of a cult status to it, by the sounds of it.
Yes, it does. Yes, yeah.
Worth seeing.
So the movie that I do know and I have seen and I wanted it to be so much better is a film called Boyhood.
Right.
Did you ever watch this film? Richard Lancaster.
I'm not sure if I have.
He did like the After Sunset, Before Midnight trilogy. It was based around a child, and he was going to film the kid for 1 month every year for 12 years. So we, as a viewer, got to watch this child grow up on screen. And they picked a kid, and he'd go and film. Then they'd do something else for a year, come back, film, go do something else, come back, film. And, you've got this idea where the child or his parents could have pulled the project at any point. Actors could have been disinterested in the film. But actually, it all came together, and you can see him grow older. You can see his family falling apart around him. But it could have just done with a better story. Something could have happened to the world.
Is this documentary style?
No, it's an actual movie. It's
actual story.
Yeah, but it's an incredible idea, like to go back to film something for the next 12 years, to commit to it. This is how I'm going to make my film. Every year we're going to film this.
At the same time, if it's not a documentary, then why bother? Like, part of making movies is creating the magic synthetically, so you get different actors to do different stages of their life.
Well, this adds to that element where you've got a child at when I think he was like 10 or something. I think we see him all the way up to he hits university 22. Age, something like that, because it's called Boyhood, so it's when he's boy. But then you watch him the following year, then you watch him the year up. You're watching him grow, literally in this 2-hour film, whatever it was. And I think there isn't anything like this that's ever happened in cinema that I'm aware of, where it's the whole purpose is we will shoot, let's say, February every year for the next 12 years, and I've mapped out how it's going to look. and then Ethan Hawke turns up because he's in the film. Can't remember who the female lead is, but she was quite famous as well. And they come, they commit their time, they shoot, they're done. But the film's not out yet. Come back, they commit their time, shoot.
So all the actors are aging a year each.
Everyone, everyone. It's such a great idea. It was one of the best ideas I've seen committed to cinema. But the film just lacked a little something.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you can dream of, but it needs a lot of preparation time to actually get finished and done. So, and it's not like you can go back and do reshoots when you've decided to change your mind, come up with an improved idea. Well, let's put an alien in when he was born. Oh, it's too late.
But you could put an alien in the following year.
Yeah.
You could then, so say you made 3 years of his life, and you're like, oh, it'd be good if we could introduce a virus outbreak.
Now imagine that if every year they like, oh, I'm bored of it. Let's mix things up and imagine what you come up with by the end. Yes. That's what they need to look out for their next version, their sequel.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
So that's 12 years, but that was intentional. Another Bollywood film that took like 16 years to produce.
Okay.
Called Pakiza. So that's like another. Half the project was finished in 1964, and then I think a bunch of people, they separated. So the project, so a married couple were in the film and they separated. So the film stopped for 5 years until fellow actors could get back together and work on the project.
Did they get married, or did they just?
No, they just to the point where they could stand each other again.
Yeah, that's reality for you, isn't it? Yeah.
The next one is a film in 1954 called Typhland. I think that's a propaganda film, so I won't even talk about that one. And then the last one is an animated film that took a whopping 28 years to make.
Okay.
So the project started in 1964, but due to insufficient funding, and they only filmed a few scenes at the lead as a slow production. So, however, after he worked on success, I see what had happened. So basically, this guy went away, starts making this film, ran out of funding, so stopped the film making, went away, worked on some successful films, like an indie flick called Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So people were like, oh, you're good now. Let's give you some money. So it goes back to the original idea. And then, he slowly starts to work on it. And it takes 28 years to complete his production. And it turns out it's a pretty average film. After all that. Done. Yes. And that's the longest. It's called, what was it called again? Oh, yeah, The Thief and the Cobbler.
Oh, okay.
28 years.
What year was it released in? I never knew heard of it.
1993.
Oh, that's a bad time to release. He should have saved it another 10 years.
Yes. So that's the longest things in development. Now that most of these films could be set in development hell forever.
Yeah, when you were talking about the animated, I was trying to think of a film that we've spoken about on this channel that took a long time to get to something that could release. I can't remember which one it was though.
Frozen, I think we talked about.
Yeah, Frozen. That's what it was. Yeah.
But I think what they mean by production is when they've actually started filming a scene,
rather than just trying to write it.
Yeah, because you can have movies like the Superman Lives and the Superman series have just had tons of rewrites but it's from the point where it started production to when it's completed and been released. That's what we're looking at. Fascinating.
So we've got one movie to watch out of that. Was it Mowgli? That's the cult classic one, yeah.
Cult classic. They're all cult classics.
Maybe The Cobbler and the Thief, or whatever it is.
There is, and an honourable mention, there's a film called Raw, which is about a film which is about a family who moved to, I think it's Africa, and they're in like a game park, and they in real life they're acting against real lions, tigers, real animals basically. Yeah. And the animals at some point have attacked the actors, and they've had to halt production. And I think that took 7 years to make. So that's another. So that's going to go down as a cult classic, because that's a movie that was just, there was genuine injury,
especially if you can get the version.
Peril.
Especially if you can get the cut where they've left
director's cut. Yeah.
Actual injury, saying goodbye to the actors.
Yes. Brilliant. So that's our podcast for today. Yeah. Still turned out to be quite a meaty podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like we could have done an entire episode on that. I think we need to work on getting it down to an hour, small snippets of things, so that we can produce a few more in these troubling times, as the adverts keep saying annoyingly.
Brilliant. How can they contact us?
You know how they could contact us. Let them know. We've got Instagram. We've got Twitter.
Yes.
All those things.
Got email.
And I'm starting to check those a bit more as well. So
about time.
So get in touch and let us know what we should be doing differently, better.
If there's any topic ideas you guys got out there, I think we've got a couple more. We'll keep them quite short for the next few ones. But if you guys got any other topic ideas that you want us to cover, look at, we'll be happy to look at that as well in the next few weeks.
Yeah, cool. Well,
as always, subscribe, tell a friend, write a comment. We only like 5 stars, but it's up to you. Put that wherever you want.
Subscribe, like,
tell a friend.
All that stuff. But most of all, just come back and watch again if you feel like it, or listen again.
Yes. And thanks for listening. Adios.
Cheerio. No, it's me that's talking about it.
Brilliant. My guy reviews the podcasts